In this video, we're going to be looking at the flexible tier list. It's changes based on the patch, and you're able to, adjust it to your team's needs or your individual players' needs, depending on what you work well with. And we're going to be going over top and jungle. We're going to be starting on top first. So Sam, would
Hey,
do your damage on the
uh,
tier list.
so for S tier, I definitely wouldn't put Fiora. I think Fiora is a very hard champ to where I think if your team can play a split push comp perfectly, she can be a really good pick. But her biggest weakness is that she only can like do a million damage to one target. But even then, in a team fight, when so much stuff is happening and people are kiting back, it's really hard to get those last two vitals. So I really think she's pretty hard to pull off. I probably leave everyone except Nar. I don't think Nar is actually that good in my opinion, but I think I
What
think
tier would you
Orn.
put Fiora in?
I'd probably put Fiora.
And Gnar.
I'd probably put her B. Like in terms of competitive, it's very hard to properly play her play style or what she thrives at most. But yeah, I'd probably put the top three right now. Probably like Camille, GP, Orn. I think that's a pretty good ranking. And yeah, I think
What's Silas doing there?
yeah, I definitely don't think Sal's top is A tier. I think the only reason you'd ever pick Sal's is into Kennen, Orn, Malphite, possibly a Kali. But yeah, I think I wouldn't put Akshan C tier. I'd probably put him A tier. I think when he's strong side, he's a really strong champ because just the fact that his revive passive, a lot of people just aren't accustomed to playing that like that because he's the only champ in the game that can do that. So it goes over people's heads like, oh, if we have to kill this guy first, or in the chance that we kill the whole team and that one person dies, then they're all back. So I think he's very strong. But everyone else, I'd probably put Renekton in D tier. I think that champ is really bad. Just full transparency. I think a champ is just awful. Don't play that champ. Yeah, I mean, there's also some like niche picks, but for the most part, like the most consistent picks are probably going to be S and A tier. I feel like all those champs do have more of a spot in on a team than any of below. I'd probably put Shen A tier. No, actually, no, I wouldn't. I think ranking for top lane is pretty good. Same thing with Darius. He's really niche playstyle. You can't really get away with going. In my opinion, I think you need double combat some. So not having TP is really detrimental come mid and late game. So I probably would leave him B, honestly. But other than that, I think the tier list is pretty good.
All right, sounds good. We'll move on to jungle, and then this would be me. And personally, I don't think Zinzao belongs in S tier. I think you need a comp to like draft around Zinzao and play him properly. I would probably put him somewhere in B. And I also don't think Lee Sin belongs in S tier because all three of these champions are like really rough matchups for Lee Sin. Viego not so much, but the other two are definitely the two best junglers on the patch, and they're pretty rough matchups for Lee. I'd probably just have him in A tier. But then I also think Kindred needs a lot of draft assistance, like in the sense that you need to like also just like completely draft a comp rounder, and it's very like one-dimensional comp, like you're just only playing for Kindred at that point. I think it can be pulled off and be very strong, but I don't think it's like an every game thing. Hecarim, definitely I'd probably put him in C tier. He's seen way too many nerfs. I think Nocturne's good when he's picked. Trundle's a very good pick that honestly kind of nullifies some of the top tier picks. Diana, very good with Yasuo. Also, there's like a newer build that is a really good solo queue build, and she also pairs very well with other AD mids. I think Lily is really good. I would probably move Graves down to B. And then
You think Shaco's B tier?
Shaco, I'm gonna put down a C. And if this was like solely comp tier list, I'd put him in F, but there is no F. And yeah, I think this list looks pretty good. I think all the champions in B are like champions that can be played if you draft comps around them for the most part. And champions in A are just champions you can I would put Italy down here. You kind of just pick whenever you want, or you just pick them into the good matchups. And then S tier champions, I think you can blind all three of these and just kind of play them whenever you want.